Wasabi guys, just a quick update on the spoiler situation. Looks like we have a few more, and these are all pretty decent looking. I promise this will be the last video for today, but unfortunately this is what they do. They just release spoilers whenever they feel like it, and they're kind of random, and they are in foreign languages that I have to then translate. It's a big pain, but we're going to get through this. First one we have here is Mastermind's Acquisition, a 4-mana black sorcery. Has 2 different modes. You choose one of them. You can first search your library for a card, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. So it's your basic Diabolic Tutor if it's that. Or the second mode, choose a card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand, which is absolutely ridiculous if you think about how you can use this in Commander. Now, of course, you could obviously use this in Standard, but it is 4 mana for a tutor effect. If Diabolic Tutor wasn't that good in Standard, I doubt this will be good. And even if you are capable of taking a card from outside of the game and putting it into your hand, I don't really see that being all that useful in Standard. But in Commander, where your deck is specifically, at least color-wise, it's supposed to be within your Commander's color identity, that you can then go outside and take any card from outside the game and put it into your hand. Now, obviously, I can imagine that in Commander you still have to follow the ban list, but this is pretty good. This means a lot. If you throw this into your black decks, it's either going to be a good tutor for your actual deck, or it's going to get something from outside of the game, and it's going to be something your play group is probably going to have to agree upon, but still, it's pretty cool. And the next card we have here is Champion of Twilight, a 5-mana black 4/4 Vampire Knight creature. When it enters the battlefield, you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of vampires you control, which is pretty good. Obviously, every single vampire you see from now on until the end of time is going to be associated with brewing Edgar Markov Commander decks. I mean, there's so many different possibilities, and it's so cool. This offers you card draw, which is something that deck desperately needs. On an ETB is pretty good. So I can only imagine, you play this in Edgar Markov, you get the vampire token, it enters the battlefield, you technically get an extra one because of Edgar Markov's Eminence. I mean, that's a lot of card draw. Yeah, you also lose life, but vampires also have a lot of lifelink, so pretty good. Then we have a pretty awesome mythic vampire cleric here. We have Twilight Prophet, 4-mana black, 2/4 vampire cleric with flying and ascend. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have the City's Blessing, reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. Each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is that card's converted mana cost. That is just incredible. If you use this in Commander, obviously you're going to have the City's Blessing because you will pretty much have 10 or more permanents. And at that point, it's basically like a Dark Confidant, but even better because you're gaining life. Your opponents are going to lose life. Hopefully the card you get off the top of your deck is a decent converted mana cost. But even if it's not, it's still extra card draw and an upkeep trigger. So I really have no complaints about a lot of these vampires they've been showing us now. For Rivals of Ixalan, there are a lot of good support cards for Commander. And definitely when it comes to vampires, we really haven't been cheated whatsoever. So very pleased. But it still isn't the most impressive card that we have seen yet. That goes to Zacama, Primal Calamity, a 9-mana Naya-colored 9/9 legendary creature, Elder Dinosaur. This was the 3-headed dinosaur that you saw right behind Huatli. Looked pretty cool. A lot of people were like, yeah, we're going to get a 3-headed dinosaur. This is awesome. It has Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. All good. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, untap all lands you control. This is very important because obviously they had to make this with Commander in mind. It's a legendary creature, so if you just cast it from the command zone, it's still going to trigger this ability. You untap all lands you control. That's incredible. 9 mana is a hefty mana cost. Being able to just get all that mana back and maybe even then some because it untaps all your lands, that's incredible. But more importantly, the fact that Zacama also has 3 different abilities is a big reason why you untap all your lands. It's a lot of mana to cast him. Want to be able to use the abilities. The first one is 3 mana in red, deals 3 damage to target creature. It's good removal. At least in Standard it is. I don't know if it's going to see Standard play, but it's iffy in Commander. 3 mana in green, destroy target artifact or enchantment. That's always good in Commander. And then the last one is 3 mana in white, you gain 3 life. So obviously the best ability here is going to be artifact and enchantment removal, at least as far as Commander goes. But outside of that, you still get pretty much a free 9/9 with Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. The only thing you really have to make sure of is that you have enough lands to take advantage of that, but still any sort of creature deck where this would fit in. I mean, he's an obvious include into Gishath if you want to make that more of the commander option. I would definitely be okay with going with that, but still, even as a commander option, that's a lot of abilities, and that's a lot of good keywords, so definitely a very powerful mythic legendary, and probably going to be highly sought after because a lot of people like dinosaurs. Dinosaur Tribal and Commander is pretty decent. I know a lot of people, even if they don't make a super competitive deck, they still like dinosaurs, so look out for these in foil if you can. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up the spoilers for today. Again, probably going to go over everything on Saturday or Sunday, try to go over pre-release weekend, try to see if we can go over some of the better limited value cards. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed these spoilers. Let me know what you think about them. Void here, signing off. You all have a wonderful day.